What up, what up, what up? So, I just had to do this live real quick because I just finished Zack Snyder's Justice League, and this is a no spoiler live. I'm not doing any spoilers, but just trying to give y'all a forewarning that I will be dropping a trailer. Well, I'll be dropping a video with more insight, more breakdown, and a full discussion. Okay, so wow, so much to unpack. First of all, I don't understand why Warner Brothers would ever not want this thing to have played out the way it played out. Watching it 4 hours and like 2 minutes or something like that. Um, it is. I'm like speechless right now. The movie's insane. All right, the movie is fantastic. I'm trying to find words. It's fantastic, insane, fantastic, epic. That's the word that I keep coming up with. It's epic. So anyway, basically, I'm trying to get through it. I'm not going to give any spoilers out. I want everyone to watch it. It's going to be out later tonight. You'll be out. So make sure you get up to HBO Max. Make sure you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League because it is very much so worth the watch. Now, everything that you hope for in the Justice League movie that would have played out the way it was supposed to, Zach put it in here. And on top of that, it's like such like night and day between the theatrical cut and this. And it has nothing to do with the length or the time. It has nothing to do with the runtime. It has everything to do with just overall heart for the film. Even the scenes that and someone else has said this before too, but I'm gonna repeat what they said, and I know exactly what they meant now. Even the scenes that Joss Whedon used, and he used quite a bit, but changed a lot around. What he did was, like me and my brother used to call he white out. He whited it out, like he took some of Zach's scenes, then did those reshoots and kind of re-edited. And what people don't understand is when you're an editor, you can tell a story, same footage, different story. You can do that. It's all in how you edit it and put the story together. But Josh just did it poorly. But anyway, you could take the scene. Perfect example. This isn't a spoiler. The scene with Wonder Woman in the beginning scene. If you remember from the Whedon cut, the beginning, they had Wonder Woman saving these people in the bank. Same scene. That was actually Zach's footage. Redid, recut, redesigned by Joss Whedon. The scene doesn't even hit as hard as it does in this version. And what was missing from that scene? I'll tell you what was missing from that scene from the Whedon cut. Heart. It had no heart to it. It just, bunch of things going on. She boop, 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 boop. No heart. Zach knows how to let it breathe. He is a phenomenal filmmaker. He knows how to take a scene and let it breathe and just really, let it unfold the way a story is supposed to unfold. Now, I'm not saying unfortunately, but unfortunately, Zach, fortunately, people like everyone out there that was on the hashtag release the Snyder cut, including myself, we were able to bring this to him. And all I can say about this movie is throughout the movie, it had heart. The theatrical cut, aka the Whedon cut, aka Justice League, it didn't have time to have any heart. They only cut it to a little bit under 2 hours, and in 2 hours you had to basically build 3 new characters, and more than that if you count Steppenwolf. Even Steppenwolf's character has depth in the Snyder cut. You even understand more about Steppenwolf and what his motives are, and it's not just because he's some evil dude. That's part of it, but it's not just because he's some evil dude. Man, oh man, this thing, and I'm telling you, I sat through it. I got an hour in, and it felt like a half an hour. Like, it moves very fast. So I'm telling you now, people, whoever watched this video and watches Zack Snyder's Justice League, the movie moves. It moves fine. It moves fast. It doesn't feel like you're sitting there for 4 hours. It really doesn't. I was in here. I was sitting there. I started the movie, and next thing you know, I'm like, man, it's an hour already gone. So, basically, I'm going to do a video right after I go off the air. I'm going to start my video that's going to have more breakdowns, some spoilers, a little bit, but by the time I release that video, hopefully you have seen it. You've already seen it, because I believe this movie is going to, I hope HBO Max is ready for the bandwidth. I think a lot of people are going to watch this movie, and I'm going to watch it again tonight. Well, today. Tomorrow, excuse me. It's still today. Tomorrow, I'm going to watch it again. I'll probably be studying it the whole weekend, so when Monday comes and we do Real Talk, we can have a full breakdown on the show. But I am going to do like a little video, and I like I said, I don't understand why Warner Brothers would have ever stepped on Zack Snyder's toes and not let him play out his vision. The reason why we're sitting here, people, watching a 4-hour movie is because Warner Brothers, the executives at Warner Brothers, wanted to be jerks and not support Zack Snyder's vision. This movie could have and probably should have played out over 3 movies. It could have been a trilogy, and it would have been perfect. And I'll tell you this, the way this movie ends, I definitely believe the new hashtag, we're going to have to do the new hashtag. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. So dude said 4 hours, it better have heart. Yo, let me tell you something, Christopher. Thanks for chiming in. It has heart, trust me. It has more than that. It's got a great mixture of heart. It's got a great mixture of humor, not oversaturated with humor like that garbage that Whedon put out. Whedon tried to turn Justice League to Avengers. That was his problem. That was the issue. Or even Guardians of the Galaxy, even. Like, he tried to get too humorous, and it failed. It was an epic fail. He had people who aren't usually humorous be humorous. Stupid inserts, dumb, cutaways, and dialogue inserts. Like, that didn't even belong there, when people's mouths aren't moving, like, like when they're not even facing the camera, because it just looks sloppy. And I'm happy to report, which I'm sure if you've seen any other video before this, you probably know. I'm happy to report no digital mustache Superman. We know that. That whole scene, that whole garbage is gone anyway. All that stuff is gone. The stupid dialogue. You won't let me live. You won't let me die. Garbage dialogue. Out of here. Out of here. Thank God. That stupid dialogue that what's his name? They had the Flash talking about brunch, and what is brunch? I don't know what brunch is. It's like breakfast and lunch. Well, it's in the name, dummy. It's brunch. It's breakfast and lunch. Why even put that joke in? I never understood that. Out of here. All the other stupid things that happen in there that you're like, huh. The whole thing with Arthur Curry he's sitting on the lasso and he's like, oh yeah, you're so hot, Wonder Woman. And out of here. Garbage. We don't need that. Batman becoming the groupie, the Bat groupie, the Superman. Out of here. Batman is Batman. He is, and I'm going to say this again, and I don't care what anybody says. You could fight me to the end of time. Ben Affleck is the best Batman, period. I'm telling you. He is the best. He is the best Bruce Wayne because he's Bruce Wayne a lot in this movie. But Christopher, he says that post credits. Here it is. It's not even considered post credits. It's an epilogue. This thing is put together like an opera. It's like it's this big ensemble thing. It's broken into chapters, part 1, part 2, part 3. Each of them have names. And then after all of that, and I'm telling you, the third act, which is actually chapter 6, insane. That's the final battle scene and all that stuff. I can't believe how much Whedon changed from that. Because you figure you're not going to be able to get everybody back to shoot that whole battle scene again. But he did, and he changed a lot. He changed a lot in that battle scene. I don't understand it. The scene, and if you remember the Whedon cut of Justice League, the theatrical cut, you'll probably remember Batman being kind of a wuss in this film, like wooing over Superman. Not really getting off, getting his stood up. Let me tell you something, man. Batman gets busy in that final fight scene. He gets busy. And I'm telling you, you're going to be pleased. Everyone's going to be pleased with how everybody got busy. Wonder Woman? Yo, if you saw Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, not that garbage 84, the first Wonder Woman, and you saw Batman vs. Superman, that's the Wonder Woman we got in this one. She is no joke, and she has God-like power. You get to see everyone's power at their full potential in this film. Not even really their full potential, but pretty much, at their full potential. Because they had to be. They're fighting for the fate of the world. So to answer your question, Christopher, it's no post credits, but it's an epilogue. So it's the equivalent to post credits. But I think he just decided to put it all together. So when it ends and the credits come, there you go. If there's anything after that, I didn't see it, but because I rushed, I got about maybe 3/4 through the credits, and then I rushed to do this video because I'm so excited to tell people that you have nothing to worry about. You know, see the film how you want to see it. If you're not the type of person to sit down and watch a 4 hour film, I understand. But it's broken into chapters, so you can actually, if you do break it up and watch it in 2 days, whatever, it's easy to stop it and go back and watch it because it's broken into chapters. I would not recommend that. I would not recommend you stop it because every end of every chapter makes you want to go to the next chapter anyway. So I would not recommend seeing this movie broken up. Start the movie early if you can. It should be available on HBO Max, probably Eastern time, somewhere around 2 in the morning. It's going to be available at midnight on the West Coast. Start the film. If you're going to watch it, start the film early so you can get it out the way as far as time goes. But you got to make sure you sit down. So it's no parts in the film that are like dragging and real crazy. And that's good. That's good for Zach because Zach loves making long films. And I have no problem. I'm from the era of long films. I'm from the era of, Godfather, Scarface, JFK, like all of these long 3 hour movies. I'm from that era. So that doesn't bother me. It never did. But for the people who might say, oh, I don't want to sit for 4 hours, trust me, it's broken up in a way where you can actually take a break if you want to. Wouldn't recommend it. It takes away from the feel of the movie, the heart and soul of the movie. You get in this movie, the reason why it had to be 4 hours, which because remember, people, the original plan was for this movie to be a trilogy. So the reason why it has to be 4 hours, it could have been longer. Let Zach go, he could have made it longer. But it had to be because you got to learn more about the Flash, Barry Allen. You got to learn a lot about really, when you think about this, let's be honest. The DC has, the main characters, the Flash. Well, the Flash is probably last though, but the Trinity, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. Everybody knows them. They're big pop icon, pop culture icon characters. And we've seen their stuff. And plus, they have movies out now that we've seen their origins, so it's all good. But let's just take it back and pretend that Warner Brothers was smart enough to release the actual, Snyder cut from the beginning and break it into a trilogy. People were not able to, people were not able to, I just lost my train of thought thinking about this film. But anyway, forget about the fact. Let's pretend that you didn't know about that. So we all know about their origins, right? But you got a chance to see Cyborg's origin, and I'm telling you, man, Cyborg is powerful. Woo! He is like in his own world, like in his own thing. He's like a god. Like he's like a god of technology. Like he is powerful, unbelievably powerful. Like to be tech. So, in his own way, and you guys will see what I mean by that when you watch it. Plays a big part. No wonder Ray Fisher is so angry all the time. Not only because Joss Whedon's a jerk and Jeff Johns and all of those idiots over there at Warner Brothers, was really kind of just acting like jerks and treating him bad, and he was getting treated unfairly. But the Whedon cut, which now I'm starting to believe it was done on purpose. The Whedon cut out all of the heart of the film, which was mainly Cyborg's story. Cyborg's story had a big portion of the heart of this film, and it was cut. completely, pretty much. Some of the things when you watch this, you're going to be like, why did we didn't do that? It's awesome. Awesome, awesome film. I can't say it more. Fantastic. That's the word. Fantastic. And do I think the film, like I said, I believe the film, if it was followed the original plan of it being a trilogy, the first part of it, being mostly Steppenwolf, and then by the end of it, you see Darkseid, whatever. The second part would have been on Apocalypse. They would be at Apocalypse. So that dream sequence that everyone saw in Batman vs Superman, guess what? You're gonna need to remember that, because that takes place. That takes a big part. You see a big part of that in this one. So when Batman had that dream in Batman vs Superman that the world was scorched and this and that and the other, that originally, the plan for that, this is not spoiling this movie. I'm just telling you the plan for the movie was, for the franchise, the plan for that was to be part 2 of the movie. And they go to, or part 3, I think. And they go to Apocalypse to fight him. They lose. And he takes over the Earth. And then he also takes over, like, this is all part of the plan from Zack Snyder's original thing. Superman, all of that stuff that was in the dream, Superman is controlled by him and this, that, and the other. All that stuff was the original plan for this movie that Warner Brothers, for some idiotic reason, scrapped. They got nervous when they did a couple of test screening, or they did a test screening, and they didn't get the response back that they wanted from their test screenings, and decided to just scrap it all. And then they wanted to get rid of Zack Snyder after they brought him in, and he did exactly what they brought him in to do. And then now all of a sudden they want to get rid of him. Then tragedy strikes. His daughter commits suicide. He leaves the project, not permanently. He never intended to permanently leave this project. They bring in Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon does some rewrites, kind of takes it in his own direction. And like I said, Joss Whedon, who had good success, he had great success at, directing the Avengers, Age of Ultron. It was good. It was definitely good. It was dope. Wasn't my favorite, but it was dope. So he tried to turn Justice League into the Avengers, and you can't do that. They're just two different worlds. The Justice League got different types of powered people. Justice League got two God. If you count, actually, almost in their own respects, they got all. You got to take Batman out because he's Batman, but he's not a god, and he's just a human. But he's exceptional. But anyway, you got Wonder Woman, Superman, The Flash, and Cyborg in their own respects are gods in their area, in their the fastest man alive. That's The Flash. And the way I didn't like at first from the trailers and even from the Whedon cut, I didn't like the way they did the Flash's, how they depicted his speed and the Speed Force at first. Now, when I watch this and see all the perspective behind it and see how he breaks down how he relates to the Speed Force, yeah. And the way they did it is crazy. Like that, it's always good to see speedster stuff, right? We got the Flash that's on the WB, which is great. You got, Fox, when Fox did the Quicksilver from the X-Men, all that good stuff. You love seeing a speedster, right? Everything slow motion, blah, blah, blah. But he really did something in this film. Put him on a whole nother level. And I have to say this, I'm not giving you a spoiler, but I'm gonna say this. I saw something that I haven't seen before in a live action, with Zack Snyder using the Flash. I mean, you've seen it before, but not in this fashion. And that's how I'll leave it. You can go check it. You've seen what he does in this movie. You've seen him do it before in cartoons. You've seen him do it before in the WB show, but not like this. Man, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I thought, and then this is no spoiler because everyone who's paid any attention knows that the Martian Manhunter is in this film. His presence is felt. Something you would think. I thought that you wouldn't really see any of him, maybe a second, but his presence is felt in the film. At least by the time you've done, you'll see. And like I said, man, Wonder Woman was almost godlike, or not even almost. She was. She had those powers, man. She is half God. She got the blood of the gods in her, so she's like a demigod. But bottom line is, insane, people. I'm not gonna just sit here for 20 minutes saying how, or 20 more minutes saying how insane it is. All I can tell you is this: to give you the best advice, get HBO Max. If you don't have it, get it. You sit back. I would start if you have the opportunity to do this in a perfect world. Depending on, like, if you're a 9 to 5er and you watch, you go to work, whatever, got you. I wouldn't start this film if you're not the type of person to stay up late and watch films. Not because it drags, but it is 4 hours. So I would start this film early in the evening. Maybe start at like 6. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be done by like 10 o'clock. And I'm telling you, you're gonna watch it again. It's a really, it flows so much better. And every time they do this to Zach gets cut. He gets his movie cut, and then then you watch the director's cut, and you're like, oh, they did it with Batman vs Superman. Everyone talk about how that movie. Oh, I hated that movie. The movie was not bad. First of all, second of all, if you watch the director's cut, the extended version of Batman vs Superman, it brings so much more. It gives you more insight on this whole story, and you're like, oh, that's why that happened. So now these all kind of work together. It's all this whole epic adventure started with Man of Steel, crossed right to Batman vs Superman. Then it comes to Justice League. It was supposed to be Justice League Volume Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, and then you would have got all of the other movies. Which Warner Brothers, really, to be honest with you, they backed themselves in a corner because they should have just trying so hard not to be Marvel, because they didn't want to do all of the solo films first and then do Justice League. But then when they did it, and Zack Snyder gives them this epic adventure, gives them this epic thing, now they felt it was too much. So they backed themselves in a corner by trying to be like Marvel, to realize that they don't want to be like Marvel, only to bring in Joss Whedon to try to be like Marvel. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So it's like, yeah, I won't even get into that. But bottom line, I'm going to end it on this, and I'm going to start my other video, and I'll post it after I believe, some most of us have watched it. So it'll probably be posted, over the weekend or something. I'll leave you with this. Never doubt a filmmaker's vision. They should always have an opportunity to tell their vision, show their vision. Zack Snyder was brought in to do a job for the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. And together with Jim Lee, they mapped out this whole epic thing, right? After watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, I have to wonder, will the executives I'll say the executive at AT&T, not Warner Brothers, because the Warner Brothers executive never wanted this to happen. They never wanted the Snyder Cut to ever see the light of day because they don't want to look as stupid as they look right now. So you have Warner, you have the old executives at Warner Brothers, because you remember when AT&T absorbed Warner Brothers, they brought in their own team, and this is why we have the Snyder Cut, because AT&T put their own people in place, and then they kind of just made Warner Brothers be like, listen, you need to put this out because of the hashtag, release the Snyder Cut. But right now, I'm about to join a new I'm about to join a new movement, and that movement is hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. We need to see this play out, man. Believe it or not, after 4 hours, you get satisfied. You get a full meal with dessert, but you want to go back for seconds. And after 4 hours, it leads me to want more. I want to see how this plays out, because in truth, in Zack Snyder, like as he promised on so many interviews, and then it's going to be fulfilled, but it's going to leave you wanting more. And I want to see how the rest of the Snyderverse plays out. I want to see the Flashpoint movie. I want to see I want that Cyborg movie now. He is so much more intriguing now. It makes you even want to see that. I was like, I want a Cyborg movie. I felt about Cyborg movies like I felt about Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't want to see an Ant-Man movie. But Ant-Man's one of my favorite movies. I loved it. Same deal. I felt the same way about Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't want to see Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Loved it. I think if we got a Cyborg movie, it might be pretty good, man. It might be pretty good. It ties in. I just want to see more. I want to see another part of Justice League. This thing's got to keep going, man. Zach has got his vision is going to keep this thing going. I'm sorry. It's going to keep it going. I hope so, because Warner Brothers, they can't make no more decisions. AT&T keep bullying Warner Brothers to do your bidding, because you do. I mean, AT&T is the bosses anyway. So that's it. That's all I got for y'all. I just rambled for like a half an hour on here. I could have said so much more, but I don't want to ruin it for you guys. Get out there, watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Watch it and experience it. Love it. I'm telling you, it's wipe that garbage thing that was in the theaters. Wipe that out your mind. That was a lot of Zack's footage, but it wasn't all his footage. It was his footage hacked up. He literally took that. Joss Whedon literally took that and became Dr. Frankenstein. And he made this Frankenstein's monster of a movie that just was Didn't work. So I'll leave you guys with that. Make sure you guys like the channel. Make sure you hit like, subscribe to the channel, because I'm gonna be dropping some more videos on the Snyder Cut. Then we're gonna also be talking about it. Probably over the weekend, we'll do another show of the director's cut. And then on Monday on Real Talk, we're gonna break the whole thing down. So if you ain't seen it by Monday, oh well, go with God, because we will be talking about it, breaking it down, spoilers and all, by Monday. So y'all, thanks for checking in. Thanks for people who checked in and dropped some in the chat room. And we will catch you later. I am the director. Peace.